We have to keep doing everything we can to accelerate this recovery. I'm not interested in trends or figures as much as I am interested in the people behind them, the millions of honest, hard-working Americans swept up in the most devastating recession of our lifetimes.
That is just one of many recent speeches where President Obama says he's going to focus on creating jobs, but it just doesn't seem to work with his policies in effect.
Obama keeps talking about jobs and the need to create jobs and focus on the economy. The reality is he is engaged in wholesale warfare against the job creators in the private sector. We have 14.8 million people unemployed in this country. We face economic disaster going into a Christmas season where people can't afford to go to retailers and don't have jobs.
There is still no improvement in unemployment statistics. That's according to newly released Department of Labor numbers about October of 2010. Unemployment numbers remain at 9.6%.
This administration apparently doesn't get it. They truly don't get that when you regulate business, when you increase the cost of business for just to be able to have an employee, that they are less likely to have that employee. They're more likely, big business is more likely to send those employees overseas. Small business decides, we'll just do without.
President Barack Obama and his left-wing machine have worked to regulate American business. However, this is bad for employment.
There's either a disconnect between the Obama administration's regulatory policy and their stated goal of creating jobs, or it's a deliberate attempt to undermine job creators and to create a permanent underclass of the unemployed. This new Congress needs to go after these regulations hard and fast and not let anything happen which will kill jobs.
It might seem unusual, but there could be political gain out of high unemployment numbers.
Remember, when people are unemployed, they're dependent upon the government for unemployment insurance and form a pretty strong voting bloc for maintaining that government program and that expenditure. So what we're looking at is a question of whether or not the Obama administration is deliberately creating a jobless rate that's close to 10% in order to benefit by having politically dependent voters.
There is a segment of the population that is completely devastated during this employment drought.
48% of African American teenagers are unemployed, and our nation cannot afford to have a whole segment of the population driven out of the marketplace, not able to find a job simply because they live in the wrong area.
Manning also says that if Obama is serious about helping young African Americans find jobs, he'll roll back the minimum wage to pre-2007 levels.
So businesses have the opportunity to take low-skill workers and bring them in and train them so they can become productive in the future. And that will create an environment where we put our youth back to work, giving them the hope and opportunity of working through the legitimate economic system and not working using the ways we know that people can make money that aren't legitimate.
Frank McCaffrey, Americans for Limited Government.